I wanted to come up here and give myself permission to be frank and to touch base, because although I love artsy, maybe music videos or expression and metaphor, I had to private a couple of videos. However, I never deleted videos. So what I do with my videos, it's just kind of fun. It's funny because I watch my own videos more than probably anyone who comes across my channel. I rewatch my videos. Like, I will rewatch my videos from 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 6 months ago, and I do critique myself. And I said, this is what I would do differently, but I probably wouldn't even do anything differently. I think I would, maybe if it was me from last year, I would act different from last year me. But what I think of my past self is that it makes sense for my life's meaning, and I would say everything fits my life's purpose perfectly. Everything I posted, every little detail, invasive detail I posted was really about courage. And I am in love with my video making. There's the biggest project that I love, I had to private. And I think it's about a 40-minute video talking about one of the worst houses of my life that I've ever lived in without my family being there. Because you can live in a bad house with your family, but if they're not your family, it feels like foreign. Like, I could stand a slow burn of like family issues and sometimes even abuse. I've had to deal with that, yeah. But when it comes to like strangers or roommates or just being with friends, I did have to release a video, and not even really explaining myself to anyone else, but I never heard my story come out of my mouth, so you want to, it's almost like writing it down. You're getting it on paper, right? And then you can read it from top to bottom. And that's what video making is for me. It's a story. It's a storytelling platform. As much as feeding your life to a camera is amazing, sometimes it's the posting it part that gets messy. It really does. But that never got messy for me because it was always worth it. Let me tell you, it was always worth it. This moment of, this is my story, this is who I am, and friends and family will come across this video and because they've never done it themselves. And that's funny because I'm thinking, like, I know people have done YouTube that I know, but nobody I know has done YouTube to this extent, other than internet friends and people from cons and shit like that. But and I really applaud any of my friends or family or peers that I've seen like trying to put their private life up there, because sometimes it just looks messy to people who've never done it before. You know what I mean? So people have been giving me a lot of courage, being people on social media who do very similar things to me and who express themselves in very similar ways, in very Gemini ways and very Virgo ways. That's just who I am. I just like Virgos. Anyways, I think I did the right thing. Yes. The way I said that sounded funny, but it's still like, that's how I don't, you don't really think about it in retrospect, but I was always analyzing myself. So that was a video for me to analyze myself and to admit to myself that nobody's let you talk all the way through without stopping, And that's just what I came to with my friends and family at that time. So when you sit down and you have YouTube, you do end up talking for 40 minutes on something that happened 7 months ago. Wow. Something, when I uploaded this 40-minute video, it had been something that had been so long ago. But that's because I'd been working on this video for so long. Imagine if something happens to you. The next day you start working on a painting. That painting doesn't happen overnight. That shit took so fucking long that when I released it, the people that were previously involved were definitely thinking about different things and definitely moving on. And actually, I don't know that shit for sure. Some of them may think about that shit way harder than me. You never know, because I'm thinking, I analyze myself more than them. More than they would analyze me and analyze themselves. So maybe they have. Maybe they're worse at it than me. And maybe that's why they're so frustrated that they can't just spew out like I do. And that's, I don't know. When I did that, my first intention putting out that video was, I'm gonna hand this over to the police. Somebody, getting insight and especially getting advice from others around me, I realized the police don't really give a shit about that video, but I did take it with me just in case they wanted to know more and wanted to hear it more clear or more in detail or something. And so, but they didn't even end up needing it. But so I was left with half a video, and I was like, why don't I just finish this damn video? And because my memory is so fucked sometimes when it comes to these are the memories that the normal person, the average being, the type A being would try to would block it out and try to block it out, and they wouldn't think about it, and they would say, no, just positive thoughts, just positive, and that's a little bit of toxic positivity for me. So I do think getting into that shit, oh my god, so good for my soul. That was like nourishing. So I was like, it's not even for the police anymore, so why don't I make it and only the parts that I felt pertained to the story, because let me tell you, the original footage was like 4 hours long, and I had to cut that bitch, especially because it was pieced together of different pieces. At that time, my brain couldn't go through that. I said, I'm not going to put myself in a position where I sit and think about my story from A to B. It makes more sense to dedicate 20 minutes out of my week on thinking. So I would not think about anything of the topic, and then I would dedicate like a Friday, and I would say on Fridays once a week for 20 minutes, I'm going to close my eyes, dive back, and think about my smells, my taste, what I'm seeing, what I'm feeling, and what I'm hearing. And I did that, and I really meditated on this topic and forced myself to go through it, because I don't let myself think about that shit when I'm at work, or when I'm at home, or when I'm cooking, or when I'm doing the dishes, because that's really bad for you to be rehashing. So when I did post that video, it's because I could not talk about it with others. Because everyone just thinks you're going back to the past, but what if you don't do that enough, and you have to go back to the past to unlock some shit that maybe you're blocking? So that's what I was doing. It was really it was really cathartic, and it was beautiful, and it represented something at large, which meant getting kind of my bearings, grabbing all my bearings back. And that's what and I was pulling the threads of this story together a little bit better now that it's wrapped up in a 40 fucking minute video, as opposed to a 4-hour convoluted memories, shit storm, because that's how it can be when you don't want to think about things. And that's what America does to us, honestly. they tell us we're not really supposed to think about our past, but it gets to the point where, but that's where it all started. That's where I have to unlock shit. So there you go. And maybe I'll private this one, I don't know, but I'm really exercising that, because I never did private things. I never posted privately before because people would make fun of you for privating things, you know, because you're not supposed to like regret what you put up. And if you're privating things, you must regret it. No. And also, people also think it's strange if you put something up and delete it, or put something up and private it, because they think, well, everyone's already seen it. Not the fucking point. It's about time. It has to do with time, less than the exposure of how many people have seen it. So say if I put a photo up and I leave it up for 5 seconds, it's not really the amount of people that have seen it during that time. It's really how long have I been wanting it to be up there. How does it represent who I am in 10 minutes? Do I feel that way in 10 minutes? No, I'm feeling like this. So I'll just put it on private, and then when I feel that way again, I'll unprivate it or something like that. That's my thought process. I don't want to get rid of any valuable information. I think documenting shit is so important. So some people don't know what the fuck's going on with me. They're like, why is her shit gone? And then it's back up, and then it's gone. Because I'm, changing and developing and allowing my videos to represent that. I love you so much for listening to my ramble. Have a good day, and if you made it to this videos, and I so mean it, because you're the real ones. Alright, love you, bye.